So this is my video, my second video, technically, my first video when I'm actually giving some reaction to what we went over today. This is my video on Acting 1, or Acting Fundamentals, as it's called in the registrar's book. You know, I think it's a book, or course load, or course log, maybe that's a better word. So today, what we did was, we went over our monologues that we're going to be performing for the class next Wednesday. But before I get into that, let me just let you know what we started off. We started off a little different today. Usually we do the whoosh game, and then we do the clap, and then we do bibbidi bibbidi bop, and all these different little exercises. But today, we started off with relaxation, because that is a very important key. I mean, I see that very obviously in acting is you need to be relaxed. I mean, Stanislavski talked about physical as well as mental relaxation that could better prepare you to be enveloped, or maybe that's not a good word, or, you know, get into your character, which is essentially you and the text. So we did this this relaxing technique where we just bend down, and not like that, but we bend down, we breathe, we relax, we try to give it as much tension as possible, and for the most part it worked. I mean, I could definitely feel a difference between being relaxed and not relaxed, and I understand its point, excuse me. So after we did that, then we broke up into our groups. Oh no, excuse me, before we even did that, we did a new game, which a game I've never played before. It's like you're a bear, and you're a bear trying to wake up all these different campers, and the campers are acting like they're sleeping, and if you react to the bear via laughing, then you then become a bear. And it's a very interesting exercise. I mean, I don't know whether or not the point of the exercise was to react, or the point of exercise was to pretend you're sleeping. So, I mean, and it worked for both. Well, I felt like it was more important. Let me rephrase that. Actually, I think it's more important to react, because it's showing that you're willing, you know, to allow external forces to wake you up. Now, on the same token, I do see its point in trying to get people to not react, because you will at one point, I'm sure, have to, what's the word? What am I looking for? You will have to sleep, essentially. So we went through that, and the object of the bear is just to get you to laugh. So eventually I became a bear, because after a while, if a person's tugging at me, I'm going to react to what they're doing. So anyways, so we were trying just to get the last person, who, her name is Sandra. She could not laugh. I mean, we tried, the whole class tried, even the professor tried, and it couldn't happen. I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, it showed me both. It showed me that, you know, it's good to react and it's good not to react. So that was a good thing. Then we broke off into groups and started going over our monologues, and my monologue I'm performing is Booth's monologue when discussing, when he's talking with Lincoln, from Top Dog Underdog, by Susan Laurie Parks, and when he's talking to Lincoln about his sexual libido, essentially, but he's getting more out of it. You know, you can see the subtext, and what he's really trying to do is get his brother to react to him. So I thought that was the exercise with the bear was very good in trying to create an objective of getting a person to react and also not reacting. So that's what my monologue is doing. I am trying to get Booth to do something violent, essentially. I want Lincoln to hit me, or to just react negatively to show me that he's a man. And I understood that today, because that was my objective. I was trying to get Lincoln to react, to say something, to punch me. And then we went over the monologues, and Lewis was telling each of us, you know, to understand every aspect of that monologue, to understand why your character is saying what he or she is saying. And I feel like I got a good grasp of it. I think really it comes down to, because it's a beautiful piece. I mean, when I just started reading any part of the play, I just felt as though the words just came off my tongue, you know, and I think that's because I just have a great playwright writing what I'm saying. So, I mean, it felt good coming out. I was allowed to, I navigated, navigating through when to emphasize certain things, when not to. What perspective am I going in with? It's not about necessarily getting into that method of what would the character do. It's what would you do? That's what I view it more as. What would you do when you're doing, when you're doing certain things? What would you do? What are you gonna physically trying to do? So it'll come out through a perspective. It'll come out, and it just manifests itself within you. So that was probably the best thing. I was also helping out my classmate because he just picked his monologue today, and his monologue was from A Few Good Men, and it was Caffey or Calf. I can't pronounce his last name. It was him trying to get a reaction out of the colonel, who essentially sanctioned the Code Red, or an assassination or murder of one of his privates or soldiers. And so we were just going through, and you can always see little intricacies within the piece, that allows you to do certain things, like, and a lisp will allow, I can't even know if I'm saying that correctly, but the ... it allows you to think, what exactly do I want to do here? How much of a break should I take? Am I crossing over to another person, from one person to another? Do I relish certain moments more than others because of the punctuation? And that's basically what we did today. So, all in all, I feel like I am definitely getting better, I feel, in understanding my character. And I feel like that's the most important part, aside from the text, because it's not, after the text is just words. The words have to manifest itself within you. And I thought I did pretty well in that regard. So this is my video 1, well 2 technically, and I hope that this is beginnings. I mean, I like this much more than typing because you can really see me, So I guess I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.